Alright, so this weekend's adventure came up to Mammoth Springs to try to fish and chill on the Spring River, but I'm given to understand that you cannot come here and not float this river. So we've adapted our plans, and we're about to do us a 5 miler on here, and we'll fish and swim as we go. Later on, we'll go to the actual Mammoth Spring where the source of Spring River comes from. I've seen varying different sources: 9.5 gallons per hour, or 9.5 million gallons per hour, or 9.5 million gallons per day. I think it's the third largest natural spring in the United States. I'll have to double check that. And hence the name Mammoth Springs. So anyway, we're gonna do the float first, and we'll get some footage out here on the river and do some fishing and have some fun, and check back in a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. The little duck, he blends in really good. It's a beautiful river. It is a busy river, but a beautiful river nonetheless. I'm gonna try to get my fishing gear tied on here in just a minute, as soon as I can find a place to pull over and beach for a second. But it's really nice, and it's super cool. Super cold water, 58 degrees year round. I don't know if you can see this. Look at all these dragonflies. There's like thousands of them. Hey, there's one real close. They're everywhere. That's really cool. Seems like somebody with another. There he is. There's fish. Hang on. Keep it on. Yeah. Shoot, we got problem, man. Are you kidding me? I caught a trout on a. There we go. Alright, so we just finished up on the Spring River. We used Dam 3 canoe rentals, and these guys were super cool, super friendly, super helpful, completely reasonable prices, and very, very, very nice, very hospitable. So yeah, if you ever come to Spring River to float, there's several outfitters to choose from. These guys were the only ones that had a canoe or kayaks for us to rent, and so yeah, I'm gonna give them my seal of approval, very much so. And we're wrapping up this part of the video. This was unexpected, didn't even intend to float the river. So now here we're going to move on this afternoon to go to check out the actual Mammoth Spring, and whatever else we can find to get ourselves into this afternoon. So as promised earlier, I've come back to show you the source of Mammoth Spring, or actually the Spring River, and show you Mammoth Spring. And it is behind me. This pool right here, and we're on the overlook. This pool right here is where Mammoth Springs originates. The Spring River originates. This is Mammoth Spring. The source of the spring is 80 feet deep at the bottom of this pool. You can see there are two outflow channels here. 9.78 million gallons of water per hour. And it said it's, through dye testing and other really smart things people do, like, ecology and hydrology and things like that. It has been determined that the source of this all comes from rainfall across the high plains of southern Missouri, and it seeps into the ground system, into this underground water table, and it all converges in a main channel that eventually emerges here at Mammoth Spring. Forms the headwater of the Spring River. It's a constant 58 degrees, pretty much constant flow of water, making it one of the top float rivers in the state of Arkansas, because it's never low, even in late August. And you can't float any of the other great rivers like the Buffalo or the Mulberry or anything else. You can come here and float. There's always going to be water, and it's always going to be freaking frigid. Probably going to go down and wander around the spring just a little bit, but my actual intention is, I think, because it's only like maybe 5 o'clock, so I'm thinking probably going to go eat dinner. And as some people have pointed out, is how I end all of my videos. I gotta go find something to eat, but I'm not going to end my video that way this time. I'm going to go find something to eat, and I think I'm going to come back closer to magic hour and try to do some long exposure photography, because we got a lot of moving water here, and if I can get some of this bright daylight out, then we can probably get some pretty good pictures and maybe do some more footage for this here video. Alright, dinner is squarely in the books. Magic hour is now upon us, and I'm going to work my way down here to this dam and try some long exposure photography. There's a lot of moving water right here. This could be a really cool shot if I can swing it. It's in the shade, so this should work out great. Yeah, that's a lot of moving water. Well, I guess it's about 9.78 million gallons an hour, eh? So, if I can pull off the picture, I'll insert it in the video here. And to continue with the ambient noise, what I'm going to do is tell you a useless fact while you're looking at this beautiful picture. Did you know that Janis Joplin was voted ugliest boy in her high school? True story. Okay, so hopefully that picture came out all right. They're a little tough to look at on the LCD screen, but anyway, that is the hydroelectric dam that was built in, well, I don't want to misquote it, but it was after the 1900s. And they kind of harnessed the power of 9.78 million gallons per hour. Now I'm walking over to the actual spring itself. Magic hour is in full effect, and I'm hoping that I can pull some good pictures out of it. That is a lot of water. See all the dragonflies out there. So this is Mammoth Spring. It originates 80 feet below us, somewhere out in this pool. And I believe we've got a long exposure photography opportunity in the distance over there. About to go do that. Yeah, we got the golden glow and dragonflies everywhere. It's quite beautiful. Hoping we got some decent pictures in here. Yeah, it's really beautiful out here. Well, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for me at the Spring River. I'm going to run off here in a minute to shoot another quick video of another area that's close by, but yeah, float in the river. and then checking out the spring itself. And like Mammoth Springs is a really cool place. Like I highly suggest, if you live in Arkansas, you need to go there at least once. You need to check it out. There's a ton of campgrounds to stay at. There's a few little hotels. There's a lot of little restaurants. Had really good food this weekend. Really good float. Very busy river, but very good float. And caught a trout, caught a good sized smallmouth. It was a great weekend, so I highly suggest checking it out. Really appreciate everyone watching the video. If you like the content I'm putting out there, please like, please share, and most importantly, please subscribe. That helps me out enormously. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys, and we will catch you next time.
We here at Studio 119 would like to remind all of you out there listening, wherever you might be, that though the hill might be steep and the trail be rocky, the mountaintop awaits. Carry on.